With rich history, modern tech and good looks, Harley Davidson launches the 2022 Sportster S. With a state-of-the-art Revolution Max 1250T engine producing 121 horsepower at 7,500 RPM and 127 Newton meters of torque at 6,000 RPM. The 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S muscles its way through the streets, featuring its 1,252cc liquid-cooled 4-stroke twin-cam V-twin power plant. Fueling is electronic and is supplied by its 11.8-litre fuel tank. Harley Davidson claims a fuel economy of 20.8 kilometers per litre, potentially giving the 2022 Sportster S a range of 183 kilometers before it hits its 3-litre reserve capacity. Or from Singapore to Mersing in one sitting, when the borders reopen, of course. The 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S seems to sit at 18.6 kilometers per litre during our test. Your mileage may vary. Did we mention that the 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S has modern tech? A round Bluetooth-enabled 4-inch TFT displays everything the rider needs to know, including turn-by-turn navigation through the Harley Davidson app. Cruise control, nice. A USB-C charging port and 5 riding modes: rain, road, sport, custom A and B. The 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S rolls along on a 17-inch aluminium cast front rim wrapped by a Dunlop GT 503 tyre and a 16-inch cast aluminium rear rim wrapped by a wider Dunlop GT 503. With, as expected, a belt-driven final drive through a 6-speed gearbox. Stopping power is supplied by a 320mm rotor paired with a radially mounted monoblock 4-piston Brembo caliper in the front and a 260mm rotor paired with a floating single-piston Brembo caliper in the rear. The 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S is of course assisted by dual-channel cornering ABS and cornering traction control. Taking care of the suspension department are a fully adjustable front fork and a fully adjustable piggyback monoshock in the rear hidden below the seat. A complete LED lighting package comes as standard on the 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S. An LED headlight, an LED taillight, and auto self-cancelling LED signal lights. Regular servicing is every 8,000 kilometers with 4.5 liters of engine oil and an oil filter replacement. Although the Sportster S never needs valve clearance adjustments, ever, very okay. Spark plugs, however, should be changed every 48,000 kilometers or every 2 years. Amos is 1.84 meters tall, with a seat height of 753 millimeters and a curb weight of 228 kilos. He's got a stretched out, aggressive posture. This variant of the 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S is a single-seater. Next time, Mark. With a height of 1.63 meters, Gabriel, our guest from 333's Motorcyclist Telegram group, wants to show you how he looks on the bike. Thank you, Gabriel. The turning radius of the bike is average for its class. In our opinion, at a starting price of 42,900 Singapore dollars before taxes, while not the most expensive bike we have had on set, The 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S still demands a pretty penny, and it's clear that it has been spent on a completely redesigned machine. From a brand new engine to updated tech, we really appreciate the overall styling of the 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S. It's low slung and badass. I like. And of course, the evergreen round dash, but we felt that the info display was way too small. We found ourselves searching for the clock and fuel gauge. It's something that's already a problem to do when stationary, but when coupled with road vibration, got even worse. Another thing to get used to is the way it handles in the turns. The 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S is a street cruiser and handles like one. It is nowhere near nimble and basically handles like a shopping cart full of groceries in a tight alleyway full of people. Shout out to all the moms and dads buying groceries. We weren't very happy when the handlebars bumped our knees at tight turns. We'll show you what we mean. Don't get us wrong, the 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S is still a decently easy bike to ride. It just needs a little more input from the rider in turns, leaning out a little more to get her going. We blame that on its massive tires. Definitely not a deal killer. Those wheels complement the super shy look along with its forward controls and a super short rear fender. The rear fender makes the bike look longer than it should, but you won't be able to afford going over any wet surfaces without getting water thrown onto your back from the rear wheel. We prefer mid controls for comfort. Amos and Mark started bitching minutes into the ride, complaining of back pains. They also kept missing the pegs when moving off. Speaking of comfort, we already liked the seat. It was firm but comfortable and provided a lot of support during the long, hard pulls. The same can be said about the Sportster S's performance suspension. The ride was firm and quite harsh. A little more suspension travel and softer compression would have been helpful soaking out the bumps. Bumps that transmitted through the shocks to our necks. Not something to look forward to. We would prefer if Harley Davidson stepped on dual front rotos. This solves two problems. One, it complements the looks considering the emptiness of the right side of the wheel, and two, improves braking. We felt that the braking department was lacking a touch behind the amount of power the 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S makes. The brakes were not as bitey as we like them to be. The mirrors? Yeah, we know the mirrors are nice for the bike. We agree that there isn't a better place to install these mirrors, but the position makes you take your eyes off the road, and it's more for its function. We recommend that you check your blind spot more frequently. We would have preferred if the 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S came with a quick shifter. It's a performance machine. Harley Davidson, why? Why don't have? Okay, we're reviewing a Harley Davidson. Enough talk. Let's have a listen to the exhaust. The sound that it makes during startup is quite shock. Unfortunately, we had to go into first gear before the bike allowed us to rev the engine high. Exhaust notes have been muted, all thanks to the new emissions regulations. At least, your neighbors get to sleep now. We noticed constant heat from the 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S at stop-go city riding, but the heat quickly dissipated once we got on the move. The heat got unbearably bad when the radiator fan kicked in. It blew constant hot air onto our left shin. Not okay. Not okay at all. One thing that was okay are the exhaust guards. We were initially worried about it being hot to the touch, but we were pleasantly surprised. Don't have to worry about getting burnt. Being nitpicky, we have to mention the slight lag in its throttle response. Power management felt a little intrusive. The 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S didn't pull as hard as we were expecting in the low revs, but she let go past 4K RPM. Somewhat like a VTEC, and boy, did we have to hold on tight. We definitely would have preferred if all 8s, with the exception of ABS, traction control, be turned off in sports mode. We at Tri333 like our machines raw. Another thing that we didn't like is where the USB power is mounted. We don't like the idea of having loose cables dangling unnecessarily. We don't understand why it wasn't mounted on the bars to begin with, not as if the bar has a minimalist design. An extra USB port isn't going to make aesthetics suffer. Overall, the 2022 Harley Davidson Sportster S is a completely different beast compared to its predecessor, with similarities ending at the bar. But it is nice to see that Harley Davidson is moving out of its comfort zone. With a torque value of 127 Newton meters, we don't feel that the Sportster S is made for the newer rider. It does, however, sit in nicely for the experienced. Harley Davidson has, in our opinion, successfully overcame the new Euro 5 restrictions and successfully targeted a younger audience. We don't think the old school Harley boys will be all too happy, but get on with the times. This machine has been provided by Harley Davidson Singapore, but like all our reviews, they do not have control over our content, allowing us to bring you true and unbiased opinions. We hope you like, share and subscribe. I'm Winston, and see you on the road.